Is good people. Welcome to another episode of Investors Playbook Live. As always, you have your co-hosts Deshaun and Cornell coming at you every single week with stock tips, and stock information, and what's going on um, in the financial world. Right, we are now experiencing the longest government shutdown in history. It has surpassed the government shutdown from 2019. We are now at, I think, 38 days, maybe
Sounds about
longer. How long has the government been shut down? The 40th day. We're coming up on day 40. I think the longest shutdown prior to that was about 35, 36 days. So we have passed that. We are now experiencing the longest government shutdown in history. And with that, we are seeing a fear in the stock market towards the end of last week, where these AI stocks, these tech stocks, these leaders were starting to take a bit of a tumble. Uh, Cornell, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you, man, how are you feeling about what we saw at the end of last week, but then just in general, right? The government still being shut down with not even really a light at the end of the tunnel. They're not discussing anything, they're not talking about anything. They're just like, whatever, we still
so they
shut down.
did. So they did discuss something. The Democrats were trying to make a deal to where they can hold on to the Obama Medicare for a year uh, in order to open up the government, but Republicans declined. So we are still in this government shutdown. We don't know how long it's gonna last, but there's a lot of people struggling through this because there's people that aren't getting paid currently. Of course, they're entitled to back pay after this, but that doesn't help them now, where they don't have the money they need to pay their mortgage, pay their bills, go out, do whatever they need to do, or maintain the lifestyle that they've had. So it's definitely spooky times right now. I know Halloween's over, but we still seeing we still seeing some spooky things going on, man. So I'm hoping that we do get to that light. I'm hoping that next week there's just like, okay, we came to a deal, and now the government opens back up and everything is back to normal. But man, it's rough.
Yeah, man. Definitely some tough stuff. I know on the last episode, we were also talking about SNAP benefits and that potentially being something that the government would still pay despite the government shutdown. But I think that got kicked down. They're
Hmm.
basically like, yeah, no, we're not going to pay SNAP. We hear you and we see that you are demanding us to do it, but we're not going to. So it has now been a week. They were supposed to pay out SNAP benefits on Monday, right? That was a week ago, and they still have not sent out any SNAP benefits. I mean, at one point they were saying they were going to send out half of the SNAP benefits, but that didn't happen. Um, yeah, so this government shutdown is definitely affecting a lot of people at this point. It's gotten to the point to where now it's literally affecting folks' lives where people are missing their paycheck, people are not getting their SNAP benefits. We're now in November, and yeah, we're still here. So I don't know what would open up the government. It sounded like the only thing that will open up the government is if the Democrats roll over and say, okay, get rid of Obamacare or get rid of healthcare.
Healthcare.
Yeah, get rid of the healthcare benefits that are currently put in place. That seems like the only thing that will make the Republicans say, let's open the government back up. Because um, the 1 year negotiation tactic that they said, let's at least talk about it. They were like, no. Like they just straight up said no. So it doesn't seem like that they're trying to, converse or have a conversation at all about this. It's just like, this is what we want. And if you don't say yes to this, then we're not going to open up the government.
I think
And
both sides are doing that. It takes both sides, right? So
well, yeah, that's
both
what I'm
sides
saying.
are
Yeah.
saying, yeah, both sides are like, okay, this is what we want. And I think this is an issue with just all of them.
Yeah.
And I think that it's even crazier that they're able to get paid through this because People are going through it, and they don't have to. They're not suffering from the choices that they're making,
Right.
and that's just insane to me, man. I That has to change.
100%, man. You got the people who don't even really have a choice at whether the government is shut down or open that are getting affected the most. So it definitely sucks. Um, and it turns into this, oh, okay, government shut down, we'll see. But now we're reaching almost a month and a half of this government being shut down with no light at the end of the tunnel. If this bleeds over into December, then bleeds over into 2026, it's really going to affect people. I mean, it's already affecting people. So yeah, um, it's just wild times, man. Definitely a good time to I mean, it's always a good time to make sure that your finances are in order, but now seems like a very, very good time because it's so unpredictable, right? We're living in a very unpredictable time period where one day things can be working as we expect them to, and then the next day everything breaks, right? So, yeah, just gotta make sure you're staying on top of your finances.
I think now is the hardest time to stay on top of your finances.
Oh, for sure, Be-
Yeah, because
because
the
it's so
life,
unexpected,
not even just that, the factors that were in play where people were getting paid, and
right?
also like SNAP benefits, and when you have that, when you have your full income plus any of the benefits that you have, I think that's the easiest time to get prepared. You don't want to wait until a crisis to get prepared, and this is where the issue comes in. People wait until something bad happens, like SNAP benefits not coming in, and then they're like, "Oh man, now I got to focus on money." No, you got to prepare before the crisis so that
Mhm.
when things come, you're ready.
Facts, man. People don't know the difference between planning and preparing. I learned about this not too long ago. It was some great advice, bro. Planning is working towards things working out the way they should, right? You plan to get a paycheck. You plan to pay down debt because you know that every 2 weeks or every month you're going to get paid. You prepare for when you get laid off and you don't got money coming in, or you
Yeah.
prepare when you for getting a flat tire
Hmm.
or something crazy happening. That's preparation, making sure that you're ready for the unexpected. So yeah, you're right, people are not prepared for this at all. They're
Hmm.
not prepared, bro. So it's wild, man. But
Yeah.
outside of that, as we see the government is shut down and it's really affecting people, it's also affecting the stock market a bit, or at least it's what it does seem like, right? We're hitting day 40 now, the government being closed, and we're seeing stocks that were booming, Nvidia, a lot of the tech stocks, the QQQs, the SPYs, even Bitcoin was taking a bit of a tumble towards the end of last week, right? Thursday and Friday, we saw declines in most of the major markets, most of the major stocks, I should say. And yes, we did see Bitcoin climb back up a tiny bit, but it was at 120,000 about a month ago.
Yeah.
Now it's like at 103. It
Yeah.
dipped below 100.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's I mean, and gold is kind of still bouncing around that 4,000 level. But yeah, Bitcoin, Nvidia, AI stocks in general, tech stocks in general, they are all they all took a hit on Thursday and Friday. So the question now is, will this government shutdown, or is it even beyond the government shutdown, right? Because I'm also reading that the government is blocking Nvidia from selling specific chips to China, and that might be affecting Nvidia's stock price. It could be more than just the fact that it's fear. But I don't know, Cornell. What are your thoughts?
I don't know what exactly it is, but I don't really get into too much of, okay, this is what caused it to go down. All I know, because people are guessing, all right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
seeing what's going on in the world, and they're like, hey, maybe this is what happened. And it's just people stating their opinion. So we can say it all day, but no one just, well, somebody does, but I know like regular people like me, we don't know. But what I see is opportunity because Nvidia is down 10%, and right now it's the most valuable company in the world. Yeah, I see big opportunity. So this is where you get your hands on anything that you can, and this is the time. You don't want to put in when the market is at all-time highs. You want to put in when things are 10, 20% down like they are
Mhm.
now. Like Bitcoin fell from 125 and it went to 99. It's nothing but opportunity, especially if you believe in something. This is the time. It's on sale.
Mhm. Bro, you're
Don't wait
not
for it to
lying.
recover. Yeah, don't wait for it to recover. Like buy now.
Yeah. You're not lying, brother. I think that across the board, we're definitely seeing a lot of opportunity in the market. And we talk a lot about that. Um, how something like this would have a normal person fear investing in the stock market because what they're seeing is stocks drop this much. Oh, I'm not touching that because it's gonna keep falling. I knew I couldn't trust the stock market. I knew it was that's what people will say. But a more dare I say seasoned or someone who has more experience in the stock market would see this as an opportunity. So I'm right behind you, man. I think that it's definitely a opportunity to make some game changing plays right about now. Yeah. So if there was a specific stock that you would look at or a specific ETF, what would you think would be a good one?
I'm looking
B-
at Bitcoin, Nvidia, Microsoft. I don't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah,
I I invest in things that are tried and true over a
that's
long period of time.
that's real. So the
Yeah.
hitters that are still hitting, they took a dip, but it's like it doesn't matter. It's still going. It's still the play. It's still the play.
The play. The play is the play.
It's still the play. Yeah. Nah, I feel you on that one, brother.
What about you?
Eh,
What you looking at?
Same. I actually added. I got an option, like a far out option for Nokia. I had mentioned it on the last call that we were on.
Nokia.
Yeah. That $1 billion investment had me thinking, like, you know what? I think in about a year, Nokia might actually do something, bro. So I got a January 2027 option for like 10. I think the strike price is like $10 or something like that. And right now, Nokia is at like $6.50. So we'll see.
I think that it could possibly because if Nvidia is actually making Nokia, trying to make Nokia like the phone, and
Yeah.
AI is seamlessly integrated into it, I can see it doing something crazy. But who knows? But is it going to be able to take over Apple? Like even if they have a better phone than Apple, do you feel
Mhm.
like people will really transition from Apple?
I don't even think they need to transition. I feel like whatever Nvidia's creating will be something beyond what Apple is doing right now. Because we know Apple is not where it needs to be in the AI race, right?
Right.
When we're talking about what I've read is Nokia and Nvidia creating 6G, which is like we just got 5G, what, 2019, 2020, or something like that. And now they're talking about faster communication, faster download speed. I don't know, man. It
But
just go ahead.
people still have to drop the iPhone though to pick that up.
I'm not sure. I don't know if Nokia will come out with a new phone or it would just become something that can be adopted onto Apple phones. Like,
Oh,
is
the
it just gonna be,
service.
yeah, like
The
the
service,
telecommunication service?
not the
Like,
actual phone.
yeah, but I don't know. I'm still
Yeah,
learning about the actual partnership and figuring out what's going on with that. But
because if it's AI centered, I'm thinking that the hardware would have to be different and the software.
I don't
Like the
think
actual phone would have to be different, right?
maybe because when you think AI, bro, you can pop AI onto anything, right?
App.
Yeah, an app. It could be an app. It could be a specific service. It could be, yeah, I don't think it has to be the hardware itself. Like, I don't know if people are going to be buying Nokia phones, but will they be subscribing to Nokia's 6G telecommunication service? That's the question, you know? So they might not need to, it might even be a completely different market. It might not even
That's a
be a
good question.
competition for Apple, you know?
Okay,
And
so
that's,
yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing like what they're gonna do because you're right. It doesn't have to be an actual phone. It could just be the service.
yep.
So that's something to think about.
Definitely. So I want to learn more about what's happening with that. Um, outside of that, I think I might look back at Palantir because that has been falling just like everything else. And I feel like Palantir is going to be one of those companies that just continues to grow. I think it was like at 180 the last time I looked at it. So let me see where Palantir is at now.
Uh,
177.
yeah, man, and
Oh, dang. That joint went all the way up to 210
date,
almost.
year to
Jeez.
date, Palantir is still up 136% though, bro.
Yeah, that's
That's
wild.
crazy. Yeah, that's insane, bro.
That's
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that
crazy.
one alone. Yeah, that's good, man.
I think
But
that maybe not an option. And well, I don't know. Because I see this as being one of those companies that's going to grow steadily, is going to split, become more visually become more affordable for people, and is going to keep reinventing the wheel, kind of like how these larger companies are doing. I
so right,
imagine.
so right
Mhm.
now, Palantir is sitting at 400 billion market cap. Like, how high do you see Palantir getting? Do you see it getting close to like the Magnificent Seven, or are you seeing it?
I don't think it'll get close. I don't know if the product will get it that close, like to the Magnificent Seven. I don't know. But yeah, that's something to think about. The fact that the market cap is 421 billion right now.
Hmm.
How much higher could it go?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Nah,
I
that's
know.
facts.
Yeah, but I know also there was something else that we saw when it came to Donald Trump.
Mhm.
He would like to introduce a 50-year
Mm.
mortgage. 50 years. So as you all know, well, you might not know, but you can in mortgages they have different options. You can do 30-year, 15-year, and I think there's a 10-year
There's a
mortgage.
10-year. There's a 10-year.
Yeah. So of course
Or
the
15 years. If 15 either way, there's a
there
shorter
is a
than
15
30.
year. There's
Oh, okay.
definitely 15-year, but I think there's three options.
Oh,
I
okay.
I know there's definitely a 30 and 15. I just wasn't sure about the 10-year. But
Gotcha.
of course the lower you go in years, the less interest rate that you'll have. I think sometimes what people don't factor in is that everyone isn't trying to pay their house off. I actually think it's a bad investment to pay your house off.
Hmm.
And I say that because of opportunity costs. Instead of loading hundreds of thousands of dollars into your home, why not keep that low interest rate and put that money in the stock market instead, where you can get 20, 30% in gains in a year, and you're just paying 7, maybe 8% in interest.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do think that, yeah, as long as I mean, and most homes are going to have an interest rate of lower than 10%. I don't imagine a home having an interest rate higher than 10%. So it will, of course, if you turn to like a 50-year mortgage, it'll increase the amount of interest you pay because the actual term of the loan is longer. But
Mm,
to your point, Cornell, yeah, I agree. That's still a low interest loan. You're paying 6%, 7% on an amount, which would drastically decrease, well, 6 to 7% on a specific amount, but you're paying it over 50 years, which would
50.
significantly decrease the amount of your payment on a monthly basis. Um, and it would increase the amount you pay in interest because, again, you're spreading it and you're having the loan for a longer amount of time. But the goal is to tackle the housing crisis, right? By giving people a lower, more monthly mortgage so that people can afford homes. That's what the
Hmm.
talk is. Yeah, because there's definitely a financial crisis happening right now. People can't buy homes, people can't sell homes, people can't even buy groceries. So that it
I'm
was
thinking
just
that could possibly lower rent. Also, if people are paying less on the mortgage,
Potentially.
Yeah, maybe that could affect rent too.
Yeah. It could potentially affect the rent. I don't know if it'll make it go down. I don't know. I'm not sure. Seems like rent is more so dictated by, I guess, the houses that are around you. Because if someone new got a 50-year mortgage, would their rent change from what their neighbor's house is who has a 30-year mortgage? You know what I mean? Because and not
Yeah,
everyone,
it's
people
rough.
already got houses, and they're not gonna be like, I'm not gonna make my rent cheaper because you got a 50-year mortgage. That's you. I still
But
got to pay
man,
off.
imagine the return on investment if you get a 50-year mortgage and you're charging the same rent as somebody with a 30-year mortgage. The
Yeah,
return on investment is going to be insane.
definitely. Definitely increase the amount of money you can make when it comes to renting your home out. Because again, you're decreasing that monthly expense by extending the amount of the loan.
Significantly. It's not like he said 35 years. This
Nah,
man is
50.
talking about 50.
An additional 20 years is crazy, bro.
That's insane.
Yeah. So right now it just seems like it's a conversation. I don't know um how much he's gonna push this or if it's just like this is something that could potentially help. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, that would be wow. If people were really adopting the 50-year mortgage and seeing what that's about, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, man. Um, besides that, message is always to stay stay vigilant when it comes to your finances. These are very unconventional times right now, and you have to make sure that you and yours are taken care of. I heard something the other day that said everyone doesn't have to be an entrepreneur to make make it, right? To make money, to be wealthy, but everyone has to be an investor. You can't just be a 9 to 5 worker and be like, I'm good. Even the most prestigious jobs, doctors, engineers, they still need to put their money in something that's going to grow beyond the money that they receive every 2 weeks because the world is getting more expensive. So if you have not started investing yet, now is our call. Get off the sidelines, folks. Start with something. An ETF is a great way to start. Open up a Robinhood account, open up a Fidelity account, start your retirement, get a 401k. Just start somewhere, right? It's good to start investing uh, as soon as you can. So, and it's not too late. It's another thing. So, what you got for him, Cornell, before we slide up out of here?
Man, I think you said it best, man.
Cool, cool. All right, good peoples. As always, we appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. We're going to catch y'all next week.
All
Peace.
right, y'all. Peace.